Hello everyone, this is Lawrence here bringing you a Halloween remote duel locals again from the Time Vault in Alberta, Canada. There was a mouse pad up for sale along with just kind of boosted prizes like, more packs. Instead of just one, you get a couple more. And we are again running Toons this time around. How do I put it? I think I got Toons pretty much where I want them. And without delving into a bunch of extra deck plays, I think this is probably the best I can get with Toons, as far as non-extra deck focus plays go. So, I'm using Toons, my opponent is going to be using Salamangreats. This was not a good opening hand for me though. I opened up with 2 Nibiru's, 2 Toon BLS, and a comic hand. We want to see some other stuff. Alright, and this time around, just to give you a heads up, it will be a longer video because I am bringing you a full match, if I can get enough quiet to record the audio. So, first my opponent plays Upstart Goblin. It's pretty basic. He gives me 1,000 life points, he gets to draw a card. Pretty, simple thing right there. By the way, my opponent for this duel was deaf, so there's a good bit of downtime where I'm typing and he's typing. So he is going to use Flame Buffalo. Now, what you do not see on the screen is I have a 6-sided die that I'm rotating every time he summons something, because I have 2 Nibiru's, like I said. We are good to go for just smacking this guy with a rock. Comfy chair. So there he goes into Balinks, he gets his Salamangreat Sanctuary, pretty standard play for Salamangreats. Now Salamangreats, they're not really considered a top tier deck anymore since they lost Mirage Stalio, but they are still really good. They are very consistent. There's a lot of 1-card combos. Problem nowadays, if you got a 1-card combo, you better end on 3 negates. Salamangreats tend to end on 1, and that's one of their traps. He's going to do Signet Mining. Signet Mining lets him search out a Cyberse monster. Simple as that. It's Rhoda for Cyberse. He's going to get Gazelle. Gazelle was one of the cards that was limited to 1. I believe it's still limited to 1. I don't believe it was taken off the ban list or moved up and made semi-limited. It's one of their play starters. He links them both off for the Sunlight Wolf. Now, I don't remember every effect that the Salamangreats had. He's gonna do 2 Parallel Exceeds. Parallel Exceed, it's a combo extender, is basically all it's good for. It can manipulate its level and then summon out a new one of itself. And there you go, I'm throwing my hand up because I'm trying to get this guy's attention. I'm gonna throw a rock at him. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, there is a fire truck going off. Hoping people get out of their way, because I hope whoever they're going to go see is alright. And right here, he's just grabbing something to act as the token. Now that token is pretty beefy right now. But that did pretty much shut his play down right there. He's searching around, there's nothing he can do. He's going to pass to me, I'm going to draw a Blackstone of Legend. That's one of our decent enough playmaking options, because we want to start putting Toons on the board, and like I said, we don't get Toon World on the field healed in our first turn, so there's a lot going wrong. RNGesus, the heart of the cards, whatever you want to call it, was against us this round. Pardon me, folks. So we have Red Eyes Toon on the board now. We can summon up a I was about to say Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Jesus Christ. It is late for me anyway when I'm recording this. But thankfully this is, what is it, daylight saving time? We gain an extra hour of sleep, I believe. Something along those lines. So, it'll be alright. Right here, I'm just pretty much wondering if there's anything I can possibly do. So we use Red Eyes Toon Dragon, special summon into BLS. We have 2 monsters. We are going to go into Nightmare Phoenix and get rid of that back row card. Now, that token has more defense than we can beat over, which is why we're not trying to do anything about it. If I remember correctly, its defense was somewhere along the lines of about, I don't know, 4,500, somewhere in that ballpark. So we're going to get rid of those 2, summon up the Nightmare Phoenix, discard a card, and get rid of that face down. Couldn't quite tell what he drew there. I think it was a Falco. He was pretty bad about showing me his cards. Like, I don't know if you noticed whenever he was looking through his deck, you could clearly see Ash Blossoms in there, but I don't believe I saw any other hand traps. And I'm off screen with my die again, just counting the number of times he's summoned. That's not something I can do in face-to-face duels, because if I start rotating a 6-sided die every time my opponent summons something, they're going to be like, alright, I'm about to get hit with Nibiru. So that is one advantage to remote duels. And it's not, I wouldn't consider that cheating either, because it's, yeah, it's off-screen, but on the other hand, it's not like it's affecting anything. It's my way of keeping count. This is his 5th summon right here, and we stop him again. We're gonna hit him with another Meteor. Now here's the funny thing, because the new token is gonna gain all the stats of the old token, plus the other stuff, and he ended up having, like, Jesus Christ, I think it was like 12,000 some odd attack points and like 9,000 defense. Like, there's nothing I can do. Like, I've given this guy a friggin' monster. Like, I needed to pull something usable this turn, and I didn't. So right now we're just chit-chatting back and forth trying to figure out how much attack this thing has. And like I said, it had to have been somewhere up in like 12,000. Like, it was clearly within Oko territory. Or OTK territory. I keep saying Oko, like I'm playing Pokemon. Jesus Christ. And here, again, we're just trying to figure out what's going on here with the damage. Maybe I'll end up cutting this part short in terms of the video, but I wanna just kind of keep talking through it, just so I can, you know, just in case I decide to keep all this in, you know, it's not just total dead air. So maybe I'll go ahead and explain something, just in case you're not aware. What Nibiru does is, if your opponent summons, this is normal or special summon, 5 monsters, not at once, not summon 5 times, but summons 5 different monsters. They can be the same name. He just has to summon five different monsters. If he summons them all in one summon, you're good to go. You can bomb them. You know, the number 5 is the magic thing right here. You summon Nibiru from your hand as a quick effect, and what Nibiru does is it destroys all monsters on the field by tributing them, and so it's not destruction, not banish, not bouncing anything, it's tributing all those monsters. You summon a Primal Being token on the other side of the field, and that gains the collective attack and defense of everything that was tributed, which is why I'm saying this thing has just ungodly high stats right now. Like, what I really, really needed was to draw a Toon World. Because if I did that, I could draw it, steal it, smack them. Here we go, he attempts to summon, I got nothing I can touch him with in my hand. I did draw a Gamma on my turn. Now the problem with Gamma, though, is you gotta be able to, You can't have any monsters on your side of the field, which, you know, might make you say that's really, really bad, but think of it like this. My opponent, I try to play Pot of Extravagance, and my opponent tries to Ash Blossom. Well, I don't have any monsters on the field, obviously, with Pot of Extravagance if it's my first turn. So, I get to play the Gamma, he summons Driver. Gamma is a level 2 tuner, by the way, and Driver is a level 6 vanilla. Boom, I can just summon Psy-Frame Lord Omega right there. Now, how often does that happen? Not very often, the ability to get Gamma or Omega on the field, because most of the time you're going to be using your Gamma effect during their turn. And I guess I'll let this play out just so, you know, if you're curious about Salamangreat plays, you can kind of see what he's doing. Now, I am not a Salamangreat player myself. I have experience playing against the deck, but not playing with it, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, so he might be doing some crazy stuff I don't know about. I don't know. Yep, there he goes. It's pretty much just swing for game at this point. Nibiru only has 600 defense, so you can pretty much sneeze on it and kill it. And like I said, my opponent here, he is deaf, you know, so he's doing a lot of typing on his phone to communicate with me. And like I said, there I go. Drew the Gamma. Can't play anything because you cannot normal summon or set Gamma. He has to be special summoned with his effect of negating a card effect. So here we go. Oh, and I'm just gonna show him what my opening hand was because it's hilarious. 3 BLS, 2 Nibirus. Like, you can't make this up. to quote Yugi from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, the heart of the cards is, what did he say exactly? I think he said something along the line. lines of, the heart of the cards is a real, B word this season. Because here's the thing, like, I was able to stop his plays plenty. Like, I just needed a Toon Kingdom, and I could have won that. Just gonna jump on my phone a little bit. Alright, looks like we're starting. So, my opening hand is a Toon Dark Magician, a Toon Terror, a Toon Table of Contents, a Toon Page Flip, and a Pot of Extravagance. That is none of my sighted-in floodgates. So we're gonna Pot of Extravagance, we're gonna banish 6 cards at random from the extra deck, and, I mean, to be perfectly honest, yeah, I shuffle it up and make sure it's at random just because that's what the card says and I don't want to cause any problems, but you don't use the extra deck really, like, other than, like, the odd Nightmare Phoenix. So, we banish 6, draw 2, and in that draw 2, we do get a Summon Limit and a Toon Kingdom. Like, this is freaking golden for us. This is what we wanted. So I set 2 cards, which is obviously going to be Toon Terror and Summon Limit. We do Toon Table of Contents, grab ourselves a bookmark. Now what I like to do, especially if I have a kingdom in my hand, because I want to bait out any sort of negates, is I'll try to get them to blow something on the Toon bookmark or the Toon Table of Contents. So that's a really cool thing about the Toon deck because of how many reliable searchers you have. You've got the Pot of Extravagance, you've got the Toon bookmark and the Toon Table of Contents. Like, I have two Toon Kingdoms in my hand right now with that one that has just been added, and it's really, you have a lot of wiggle room to bait the opponent, is what I'm trying to say with Toon cards, and that is one of the good things about them. So here we go, we banish our top 3 to activate our Toon Kingdom. We do Toon Page Flip. Toon Page Flip, like I've said in previous videos, is basically Bingo Machine Go specifically for Toons. So, instead of adding it to your hand, it special summons it to the field. This time around, because some people did complain about it, I'm just shuffling him up and putting him face down, even though he's just gonna roll, and yeah. Because the whole thing is it picks it at random. And he gets to pick it at random. So, me personally, I don't see what the difference is in just, if you're gonna roll anyway, like, just let me put him out, and then you can roll and see which one you want. So here's me just talking to him, because I'm like, okay, you said you rolled a 1, is that the, which one is it? Is it the one closest to the deck, or is it closest to the extra deck? So here we go, we got our Toon BLS on the board. He's not going to do anything this turn because 1, he doesn't have any card on the field for me to banish to begin with, and 2, he can't attack. So, we're just going to leave him in defense mode and pass turn to him. But, like I said in a previous video, Toon Terror relies on having a... sorry about that, shifting in my chair. Toon Terror relies on having a Toon World and a Toon Monster on the board, so we can now set that up. And on his standby phase, I activate Summon Limit. I just want that thing out there. I want it available and good to go right from the word start. There's an Upstart Goblin. I'll let him have that. That's no big deal. Because especially with Salamangreat decks, now one thing about Salamangreat decks is they're either one or just low card combos in general. Pretty much once they get Balinks on the board and they can get something in the graveyard, they can start doing shenanigans. Because a lot of their monster effects have something that activates from the graveyard that will either let them special summon, search, or just do something. So he's going to get Flame Buffalo, that's one summon, and he's going to turn that into a Balinks, that's his second summon. He is done summoning at this point, he can't do anything else. He's going to get Salamangreats Sanctuary. I'll be honest with you, that's not a card I think I totally understand. From what I do get, it's pretty much what allows him to do, what do they call it, reincarnation linking or whatever, something like that, where you can link away, like, a Sunlight Wolf for another Sunlight Wolf. And then he gains a special effect if he's link summoned that way. So there's not a whole lot he can do. He's gonna keep searching stuff out. And he passes turn to me. We draw There Can Be Only One. And we set that to the board, of course, of course. We're going to switch that to attack position and go ahead and swing at him. Because we attack with BLS, we cannot activate his Banish effect. It's not like we really need to. I mean, what are we going to do? Banish Balinks? Balinks will offer some protection to Salamangreat cards, but it's nothing we need to worry about, because we're not going to be destroying any of the Salamangreat cards, obviously. So Salamangreat Rage, he's going to try and use that to take out one of my cards. And we are going to Toon Terror that. Toon Terror is the archetypical Solemn Judgment, basically. Omni Negate. Negates a monster effect, spell effect, or trap effect. It's just generally pretty good. You only want to run one of them, though. You only really want to run one, though. So, this is what kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't realize he could do this. He's activating all these card effects at the end of my turn, so this is how he's getting around summon limit, to have cards on the field. There he goes, he's recycling some of his traps. He's going on his turn, and this is again one of those, we get a little bit mixed up here, because like I said, I didn't realize he was doing everything on my turn. Because like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of the salad cards, so... He's just thinking about what he can do. He's got summon limit, and there can be only one out. He can have only one Cyberse monster on the board, and he can only summon twice. So he's in a real bad position. Is what I'm getting at. Like, he is pretty much completely, and in every sense of the word, locked down right now. And and he's debating whether or not he wants to use that. Play the Jeopardy song. He's still thinking about what he wants to do. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure how that Falco effect worked. Because if it was to return Gazelle to the hand first and then special summon the Falco, I'm pretty sure that would work. But maybe not. See, like, that's the thing. I gotta look into that Falco card, because I think he shouldn't have been able to do a summon right there. Because he's gonna try and summon right here. But he, you know, I catch him on that. I'm like, yo, it's a Cyberse monster. There can only be one is up. You can't do this. Just showing him my graveyard right here. It's nothing special. He just wanted to see what I had. The big thing that's in the graveyard right now is the Toon bookmark, because if it's in the graveyard, I can banish it to protect the kingdom. Well, not kingdom specifically, just anything that says Toon World, and because kingdom becomes Toon World, it's basic like that. So he's going to get rid of my there can be only one. He does some other stuff right here, and this is where I'm saying, like, I gotta learn more about the Salamangreats, because maybe I did know this back in the day and I just forgot about it, because he's trying to do more stuff and I'm not sure, and I'm trying to do stuff at the same time, and you know, the remote duel, like, inability to really talk with each other kind of screws with that. But there we go, it's his turn, he draws. See what he does with it. See, he can play more stuff now, but here I go, I'm just like, yo, let's stop. Play another There Can Be Only One. My side deck did exactly what my side deck wanted to do, what I wanted it to do. Stopped it, floodgates stopped him from just playing willy-nilly all these cards. He's gonna rage that. I think he's kicking over what to target right now. He ends up getting rid of summon limit, so he can summon as many times as he wants now. But again, problem is There Can Be Only One is on the board, and what's he supposed to do? But yeah, we're kind of going back and forth right here, because like I said, communication was a bit of an issue. Some of the things were unclear, like what he was targeting, what he was doing at the time, so yeah, he ended up instead getting rid of There Can Be Only One. So yeah, my bad. He can summon again, so, but this is pretty much going to be it. Be honest with you, I'm not sure what he's doing right here. He's searching something, I believe. gonna get Salamangreat Rage. So something again about Salamangreats, because we're so used to nowadays about having like a board with Borreload Savage, Dark Dragoon, Appaloosa, like having all three of those on the board plus Herald of Arclight. That's like, and this is what I say to anybody new to the game who's coming into it this format. That's really not, like, that's not how Yu-Gi-Oh! Was even just a few months ago, even just before COVID hit. You know, like, Salamangreat was a top-tier deck, and it's pretty much what they did. Their negate that you had to play through was Rage, or Roar. And, he tries to Effect Veiler me. This is pretty much last turn, and I honestly almost slipped up, because I didn't realize at first that he couldn't Effect Veiler. It took me a second, because, like, my brain, I don't know what process with my brain at the moment, because usually when it comes to, my Toon cards and getting targeted, I'm pretty quick on the draw, just like, aha, you can't do that. This time, for whatever reason, I was slow on it. Oh yeah, and there was another funny bit right there, and I don't know why I thought this, I cannot tell you for the life of me. I thought for some reason he was destroying Kingdom whenever he discarded Effect Veiler. Now, you know, it's one of those things in hindsight, doesn't make any sense. But, you know, it happens. And this is also where we resolve the Effect Veiler issue, where I'm like, hey, you know, you gotta put that back in your hand. You can't summon them, or you can't discard them for the target because you can't target my card. Coming any minute now, because I know that's basically how I win this this game right here. Is I say, whoa, wait a minute, just remembered you can't target my BLS. Now, in hindsight, I guess if this was a more official duel, I guess, because this is an OTS remote local, so this is official. But you know, when I'm referring to, like, I don't know, maybe like a large YCS LCS tournament. But yeah, you can see my big head right there. All the little grays starting to come in. Alright folks, sorry about that, just a little hiccup right there, some significant background noise that I was trying to keep out of the video. But yeah, there he goes. There it is. He puts his Effect Veiler back in the hand, and then I can swing for game with BLS. So, yeah. I don't know what he's sighted in, but I can tell you I basically unsighted, like I said. The floodgates are gone, because they're not going to do me a whole lot of good going turn 2. And we went back into our bevy of hand traps and turn 2 options. And it's funny that I say Cyber Dragons as a turn 2 option, because, yeah, I threw him in the deck, Toon Cyber Dragon. I never did anything with it during the tournament. I think I summoned one of them to act as a meat shield, because it was in defense, and you can't do any damage to me while it's in defense. So here we go, getting into this game 3. There I go. Messed up my split right there, so I'm just trying to... So this time we drew Infinite Impermanence, Comic Can, Toon Page Flip, Blackstone Legend, and a Toon Kingdom.
Alright, he's going for Salamangreats Circle, and if I remember correctly, this is one of the cards that got limited from the glory days of Salamangreats. I forget, it was either this one or another one. I'm pretty sure it was Salamangreats Circle. And basically what Salamangreats Circle does is you, oh, shoot, did you special summon it or did you search it? Yeah, it's been such a long time. I'll post it in the top area, as I always do. Alright, so what Foxy is doing is it's basically acting as a pot of duality. And I was just like, no, we're not going to have any of that. And in hindsight, this was a really bad play on my part. I should have just let him have it and save the impermanence for something else potentially. Yeah, so this was kind of a silly impermanence on my part, but we negated the Foxy, he didn't get to add anything to his hand. He's going to go into the typical plays of Salamangreats, so you go into your Link 1 Balinks grabs Sanctuary. Now at this point, I've got nothing to fight him with because, or nothing to interrupt him with because I just used my impermanence and I told you what was in my hand already. So we're just pretty much going to let him ride his combo out. Gazelle. Now I believe the guy playing was at the Time Vault store itself, because what's going to come up here is time is going to be called shortly, within like the next minute or so. And you're gonna see me, well, you don't see me obviously, but you see me fumbling around with cards and just kind of like making hand gestures like, what the heck's going on, because he starts packing up all of his stuff. But for right now, he's just playing out more of his hand and trying to get more stuff going for himself. Now, I will say this, me personally, I don't like Pot of Desires, but that's because most of the decks I run are 40 cards, so I feel like, as far as I'm concerned, really only Gren Maju benefits from Pot of Desires, and that's only if, you're lucky enough to not, accidentally banish your Gren Maju. So he's gonna go for the Sunlight Wolf. Get one of his traps. Cyanide Mining, he's going to Rhoda search a Cyberse monster. It's going to be Spinny. Spinny's one of their playmakers, one of their combo extenders, if I remember correctly. Of course, recording this right before I try to go to sleep, after downing some ZzzQuil, isn't exactly the best for me to say, yeah, I remember this, but that's a big play right there, the anti-spell fragrance. And this is again where like the inability to vocalize with each other kind of comes into play. See, what I drew was another Toon Kingdom, which doesn't really matter. If this game, because it's about to go to time right here, if this game did not go to time, I'll be honest with you, he probably would have won that, because I'm so reliant on my spell cards, that anti-spell fragrance completely shuts me down. It's about as bad as Naturia Beast. And right here, I'm just watching him like start packing everything up, and I'm like, "Are you giving up? What's going on here?" Like, see, a little hand gesture. Like, I don't get it. And he tells me that time was called, and there we go. Simple as that. Time was called. This ends up being a draw. Now, for the remainder of the tournament, we actually won today. And I was really excited about that. We won on Halloween. I don't know if maybe the full moon did it for us, but we won the tournament. I know it was only 8 people, but I don't care. F you, we won. We have finally won a locals. In my, jeez Christ, how long have I been playing again? A year and some change. Started back up whenever Sky Striker, Orcus, Salamangreat, and Thunder Dragons were the meta. So, yeah, I mean, it took me long enough. It was only 8 people, but I don't care. I won. I won myself a mouse pad, won myself some free packs of cards. I would say that's not bad for a $7 entry fee. You know, however it translates into Canadian money. But, the game after this was actually against Dragon Links, and Jesus Christ, like, this is why I say I don't care that it was only 8 people, because we played 3 rounds, but Jesus Christ, like, the Salamangreat guy and the Dragon Links guy, gee, like, those were uphill battles, and I am telling you right now, if this did not go to time, old boy right here would have won. Anti-Spell Fragrance would have just shut me down completely right there. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. This is Lawrence, and I hope y'all had a fantastic Halloween.